Hello, BookTube, and this is the long-awaited, often demanded, begged for Pulp Mondays. Yesterday, I did a video showing just 10 random pulp, uh, science fiction pulp magazines that I have, and it's I asked whether somebody if you'd be interested in seeing more details. So I decided, I threw out the name Pulp Mondays, and I think a couple people said they thought that was a great name. So we'll start today, and I'm going to go into more detail of two random magazines. These two aren't so random because I purposely picked these two out, but the others will be very random as we go along. Uh, and just a little more detail. Try like I'm still trying. I'm struggling just getting around and doing things on a daily basis. But I figure if I get a good period, then I can film a video and just show details and try not to use too much brain power to do it with. So the first one is, well, they're both astounding, but the first astounding that I'm going to show you is probably the most important issue for golden age science fiction. And for those probably are thinking, I know what he's talking about. And if it was this issue, July 1939, you're right, of A. Van Vogt's The Black Destroyer. And that has cover art by Graves Gladney, who I don't know who is. I don't know anything about this person. But yeah, this issue basically is pretty well. Most people agree that it began the golden age of science fiction under the editorship of John W. Campbell, who started actually working for Astounding in I think it was October 1937. But he didn't have full editorship control until somewhere mid 1938, and then he started just creating science fiction under his own image, I guess you would say, and even like in 1938, I think it was in October 1938 or yeah, I'm not sure because it was October he started in 37. But anyway, he published his own Who Goes There story under the pseudonym uh, Don A. Stewart, which was a clever pun on his wife, whose name was Donna, and her maiden name was Stewart. So Donna Stewart. Most people know that, but for those that don't, you might find that interesting. So yeah, so this is the Black Destroyer, which then became part of a fix-up novel, The Space Beagle, by A. Van Vogt, and also controversially sort of plagiarized, I guess you would say, for the first Alien movie, and A. Van Vogt won sort of out of court or out of settlement. I'm not sure how much, but he did win that. So and we're going to look at some ads here as well. This is a bit fragile because it's like the covers starting to come off. I have to be very careful. Every time I handle this, I feel that I'm deteriorating it, and it's an important magazine. I wish it was in better condition, but the prices have gone up crazy. But on the back of the front cover, there's a Listerine ad. But it's not Listerine for breath. It's Listerine for dandruff. There were lots of them. It was ubiquitous on the back cover with the Listerine ad for many years. And so it's saying, cures husband's dandruff in 3 weeks and children can be 10 days. So let's go to the contents page. The illustrations inside are by a number of artists: Gilmore, Kramer, Lay, that's Willie Lay, Orban, Schneeman, and Wesso. And as I said, Graves Gladney did the cover art. So the novelettes are The Black Destroyer by A. E. Van Vogt, and it doesn't say who the artist is for that, or the interior art. But there's the cover page of the story. And then on here, we've got an ad for a whiskey called Mattingly and Moore, and there's a bit of a cartoon. Seems to be a lot of cartoons. I guess cartoons. Um, to advertise things. So let's move on. We've got Nat Schachner, City of the Cosmic Rays. And he was a very popular writer during the Golden Age period. Wrote quite a bit of stuff, but more or less forgotten today. I think he also did sort of historical, American political historical writing, or biographical, something along those lines. And this is illustrated by Wesso, but here's the cover art for the story, and that says it's by Wesso. And then again, we have another Listerine shaving cream. Okay, Listerine did a lot of stuff, but again, a cartoon like along the bottom. The letters are too small in this light for me to read, so there'll be lots of stuff that I won't be reading. Then we got Greater Than Gods by C.L. Moore. And there's actually two female authors in this edition here. And remember, this is 1939. So, and, there's a lot of talk about, women writers. There weren't any. And for science fiction, there were quite a few. A lot of them don't get remembered, sadly. I'm looking for her story. Yeah, City of the Cosmic Rays. Is that it? Is that the name of her story? No, Greater Than Gods. Greater Than Gods. There it is. It's at the back. It's a novelette. It's illustrated by Schneeman. That's pronunciation. So there's the cover artwork for her story. Then we move on to short stories, Trends by Isaac Asimov. Of course, we'd have an Isaac Asimov story in here, and this is a sort of a fairly well known. It's sort of a religious type thing, an anti science story. Trying to find it here. There it is, Trends. Illustrated by Urban, and there's the cover art of it. Like I say, I'll try to go through these as quick as possible. But then we got Nilsen S. Bond, Lightship Ho. Now, he's an author that pretty well, as far as I'm aware, has been more or less forgotten. He was quite popular at the time. He did a variety of things. He even became, I think it's Nilsen S. Bond, became a well-respected antiquarian bookseller for many decades in the 60s, I think it was. Lightship Ho is the story, and it's Gilmore, I think, is the... Gilmore. Don't know the first name of these artists. It's just they're showing their surnames. And then we got The Moth by Ross Rocklin. Another author that's almost forgotten, but there's still... he's still read to a certain extent. The Moth. I'm trying to find... Yeah, there it is. And that's illustrated by Orban. Let's see, what else we got here? And then we got the second female author, When the Half Gods Go, by Amelia R. Long. Now, she wrote science fiction. That's where she started writing science fiction in the 30s. And then at some point around the Second World War, she stopped. I don't think she wrote science fiction ever again after starting and writing mysteries and crime fiction. Um, Trying to find her story here. Yeah, when the half gods go, illustrated by Orban again. Back of cover is a Chesterfield cigarettes ad in color. That must have cost a pretty penny. There's other ones that are kind of the inside back cover, not quite Atlas yet, but it's a yeast that can make you gain weight quickly. And other classified ads. There's a few. This is a really, I like this one. It's beauty, love, etc. around the world. World's greatest collection of strange and secret photographs. 600 large pages, 1,000 revealing photos, 5 picture packed volumes. Um, and I love the little drawing at the top. It's looks like all nude women like under palm trees. um, and yeah, there's various other ones here. The articles are there's a story there's an article by Willie Lay called Geography for Time Travelers, and he talks about where continents were and the movement of continents and so forth, which is kind of cool. Let's see here. Oh, this is another good ad. Your girlfriend or sister may be the next winner. A snapshot may win fame and fortune. Uh, Select showgirls to appear in the Billy Rose New York World Fair arcade. So send a swimsuit picture in. So we'll move on to the next one, and I'll stop manhandling that one. Again, this is another astounding, but another one that's kind of important. Um, well, it's an important story because everybody knows it. It's in every collection of classic science fiction. Nightfall by Isaac Asimov, and this is September 1941. So we moved on a few years. Still pulp. One's on the inside. There's another Listerine ad, but again, it's Listerine for your breath, and it sort of says here, "Cut him loose and let him go." um, there's you can take correspondence courses for a whole list of things there, and the cover art on this one says by Rogers, and I can't remember the first name of that Rogers. But so we got Nightfall by Isaac Asimov. And the cover, the illustration is by Koliker. And there's a few illustrations in this story, I think. There we go. A few spot illustration. Yeah. Let's see here. Now we got Elsewhere by Caleb Saunders. Caleb's. Oh, that's a pseudonym of Robert Heinlein. I'm quite sure. Because there will be magazines where there's sometimes 2 or 3 stories by Robert Heinlein under different pseudonyms. Caleb Saunders. This one, Short Stories, Adam and No Eve by Alfred Bester, who needs no introduction. Then we got Short Circuited Probability by Norman L. Knight. I'm not showing. Here, artwork by Kelliker. He's basically forgotten, I think, as well. I think remember looking him up sometime. Is he the one that was a chemist? He might have been a chemist, and and wrote some science fiction, but yeah, just not a whole lot. Next one is Mission by M. Crawfield. I think that's Myra Crawfield. Again, someone I know nothing about other than has written less than probably stories I can count on one hand. Um, and then we got Raymond F. Jones, Test of the Gods. Uh, Now, Raymond F. Jones is probably best known for This Island Earth. I think it was a fix-up novel, which then they made the movie, the 1950s movie out of. Uh, Here's Elsewhere by Caleb Saunders. The professor and some students were gone. It was thoroughly impossible, but the answer was found in time. Illustrated by Kramer. So it's another time travel, and that's Heinlein, because somewhere in one of these, they're advertising next issue is By His Bootstraps by Heinlein, or no, it's Anson McDonald, which is Heinlein, which is a really good story. Let's see. Let's move on here. Then we got articles. The Sea King's Armored Division, first of two parts by L. Sprague de Camp. And then we got We're Not All Human. Mutation of human beings is neither for the future nor particularly rare. There are thousands of human mutants today. So that's an article by Campbell. And then we got the conclusion to a serial by Robert Heinlein, hence not having two Robert Heinlein stories in the same issue. And this is Methuselah's Children. I think that's part of his future history. Then we got editor's page and so forth. Let's look here. Again for correspondence courses, but again, like, cartoons, little things that are done to advertise. The back cover is Wrigley's Gum in color. I love the artwork. Let's see, the inside back cover, what's that? We've got Fuel Oil Heater for 1942. More classified ads, become electricity or learn electricity, enlarging photographs, government jobs again, like in the previous one, Gillette blades for shaving. Machinist and Toolmaker's Handbook. Be prepared, so it says. Methuselah's Children. There's the artwork, illustrated by Rogers. Ultraviolet fluorescence. It's a source of ultraviolet light for your experiments. Well, yeah, if you have one of those, you can get rid of mold in books. Ultraviolet kills mold. Let's see, what else is there here? Pepsi Cola tops them all. We'll add at the bottom. Another looks like razor blades and little cartoons. yeah, so there we go. It's going to take me a while to refine this to get it a little more smoother, but if that was too much detail, let me know. Or if you want more detail, then I might actually wind up breaking these up into one per video, because I didn't really want to make it more than 10 minutes long, but now I'm at 20 minutes plus. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you, BookTube, and if you made it this long, thank you. Sort of, for my ums and ahs and um, um, yeah, this. Anyway, thank you, BookTube. I'll see you next time.